Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and figured I'd do a couple reviews of some Bigfoot films I recently seen, and some probably upload one day, some on another day, but I just want to do this today, or should say tonight now. Lately, for Bigfoot films, I haven't seen too many great ones. Like Bigfoot Lost Coast Taste was, I disliked the film, but there's some parts I like, but ultimately, I disliked it. Bigfoot County, I thought was a piece of shit. Assault of the Sasquatch, I thought was a piece of shit. Legend of Boggy Creek, I get what they were going for, but ultimately, I found it pretty boring. But even then, I thought it was better than this one. Like, this one wasn't any better. Sasquatch, The Legend of Bigfoot. Really enough, around this time, there were two films called The Legend of Bigfoot. Thus, this one, at times, it's just called Sasquatch. It's also called Sasquatch, Legend of Bigfoot. Then the next one I'll talk about is just called The Legend of Bigfoot. I know that's confusing. But, goddamn. Sasquatch, The Legend of Bigfoot, it's more like a nature documentary than even Legend of Boggy Creek. Legend of Boggy Creek, I got bored with. And what's weird is that one I was complaining about. That it was so random. Here is telling one story, but it was even more boring. But if there's a fans of this, I don't mean to get you guys pissed off. That's not my point. Okay, it's a 1977 film, directed by this guy named Ed Ragozino. This is a, I guess he directed the cast in this film, and he didn't do much. He was an actor in a TV movie called Finish Line, a narrator in a game called The Adventures of Willie Beamish. He was the narrator voice. Then he was a minister in a film called The Sisters. Now, what this film pretty much, it starts off with this POV of Bigfoot. You have these newspaper clippings. You have that famous Patterson footage, and scientists have put in their computer, and they examine the. I love this fucking part. I know it's 70s, so you had the Patterson footage. Embarked in this huge phenomenon on Bigfoot. That's why you had a 1970 film called Bigfoot, which I'll probably get to. Yeah, Legend of Boggy Creek and its sequels. You had one called The Capture of Bigfoot that I think Trauma released or something like that. I know Trauma had something to do. In fact, in Lloyd Kaufman's book, like The Capture of Bigfoot was, he thought it was one of the 5 worst films Trauma ever released. I don't think they made it, but they released it, and I'm like, God, I really don't want to see that one. I really don't. I'm sure someone's going to say, oh, see, I don't know, fuck. If Lloyd Kaufman thinks it's bad, holy shit. But, yeah, all sorts of stuff. You had a TV movie called Snow Beast, which I'll probably try to check out. Night of the Demon from 1980. Just a shitload of films. And around this time, you had this sort of, there's supposed to be documentaries on Bigfoot, but at the same time, they feel more like nature documentaries. And this one, it's the North American Wildlife Research. They're doing this expedition into British Columbia, and they want to find Bigfoot, and they want to put a track on it, and they want to go to base camp. And they pretty much introduce all these characters, which are, there's really not much, they're one-note characters, but it's going to sound strange. They don't really give a lot to the characters. You have this 80-year-old guy with this mule who's going to lead them to a certain part. Then you have this Native American called Tetra Blackhawk, who, when they cross this river, which I don't think the river exists in real life, but the actual name they give it, I don't think, I could be wrong. When they cross that, he's going to lead them past it. There's a reporter who doesn't really believe in this. There's the leader of the group who does the narration. And there's a few others. And most of the film is pretty much a nature documentary of them going through the land on horses. That's pretty much it. A shitload of narration about the land and a lot of nice shots of the landscape. but not much of Bigfoot. Like, at least Legend of Boggy Creek, I can say, even though it was random, wasn't really telling, like, following one character, it was still always about Bigfoot, 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 Bigfoot. Here, there are good portions where you're not even, like, you forget you're watching a movie about Bigfoot, even though it's called Sasquatch, aka Sasquatch, Legend of Bigfoot. Uh, like, yeah, this little bit with between a wolf and a badger, and the looking at a grizzly. I think this one we had grizzly find each other, or a grizzly in the water. I think it had both actually. And the little bits of character that you have is like, oh yeah, you have a clumsy cook. Forgot that clumsy cook. And this little critter steals his food and he chases after it. I will admit, it does have a pretty well done cougar attack. It looks like a real cougar was doing shit. I mean, this cougar's bouncing around the horses, is on this top of this little cliff and jumps down and is trying to attack the folks. And I thought it was a pretty nicely done cougar attack. It almost makes me go, wow, was that real? I mean, it's a movie. Even though they want to say it's real, because I don't even know if they're trying to do a documentary, but at the same time, ways that the cameras are at, like cameras real close by to a cougar, but yet they're not going to tell them anything. So it's not like people being interviewed, but I don't know if it's supposed to be, the whole movie's supposed to be this reenactment of this trip that they took, which again, trying to make you think that it's real, like the Legend of Boggy Creek, but you know, it's all bullshit. But I will say the cougar attack was well done. They shoot it. Almost makes me think they shot it for real, which they made me believe that. I do hope that was not the case, though. I really hope they didn't just kill a cougar just because. In the way they filmed it, they filmed that scene well, I will say. It almost looks like they did, and not gory or anything, but just the cougar attack was well done. It makes me go. It does make me wonder, how did they do that scene? That's probably, and to be honest, that's the highlight of the movie. A fucking cougar attack is a highlight in a Bigfoot movie. Documentary, but it's like one these films. It's more of a nature documentary. And oh yeah, oops, shit, we forgot. It's about Bigfoot, so let's slip it in there. And they slip it in to once in a while they sit around a campfire and they tell a tale. Like you have this reenactment of like these miners who were worked around Mount St. Helens or something. They're looking for gold, and Bigfoot follows them to the cabin. And I like some of the teen little shots. Like you see, they go into a little cabin. You see out in the distance Bigfoot on top of a cliff, or there's a guy looking out, and the camera's here. When he pulls back, there's Bigfoot right in front of him. Okay, I like those little teeny shots, but then they pretty much throw these big fucking rocks at the cabin, and then at the end of the day, the bid feet, I guess, is the plural. The Bigfoot people, they go off and people just find all these rocks in amongst their cabin. So that's one story they tell around the campfire. Then like I said, yeah, like them more on their horses, trekking through the land, and trekking through the snow. See two bears fighting. Like I said, this critter steals the cook's food. Then you have another campfire tale with another reenactment, which to me wasn't much of anything. Just two people, and like, oh yeah, this is a story that was heard from a story that was told to Teddy Roosevelt. I'm like, whatever. Didn't really do anything for me. They went across a stream. They have a little bit of trouble. They'll almost lose one of the guys, but it's not really suspenseful or action-packed. Or hell, it was more suspenseful in City Slickers, to be honest. Uh, During the night, the journalist is attacked by what you think is a Bigfoot, but it's a grizzly. But he's going to be okay. And they finally, they've gone across after going out the stream, and they're at camp. And at night, they hear screams of the Bigfoot. And early in the morning, they find these footprints, and they keep going. They find broken trees, and they set up this perimeter. So if a Bigfoot trips a little alarm, it'll beep. And pretty much a bunch of Bigfoot attack the camp, and they basically go in. Some of it's so goddamn dark you can't tell what's going on. Maybe because of just how they filmed stuff back in the 70s. It was just, maybe that's not the movie's fault. That's just, the picture quality we have right now. But like, so one Bigfoot tips over something here. I think some people get swatted, but I could barely tell. And I know because I have glasses. I'm not blind. And pretty much the Native American guy, Tetra Blackheart, goes, "It is done." And then they leave. I'm like, so you made this humongous fucking track. What do you expect? That they'd come out with tea and sugar and fucking... Maybe they thought, would you like a wash tower or something? Or fucking Jehovah's Witness knocking at your door or something. It's like, see, this huge track in which Bigfoot is maybe 2 or so little campfire tales. And then when you get there, you hear some screams. And then they come in, they smash some of your shit. And, oh, time to go. And I'm like, wow. That was very anticlimactic. I don't know. I wasn't expecting much, but I'm like, wow, that was quick. You went there, and I don't even say it. I guess a day or two. Boom, you're gone. I'm like, wow. And they're talking about, oh, we did more financing. We'll be back next year. And I'm like, yeah, good luck in getting that financing. Like, if this was real and I saw this, I went, you wasted my fucking money and my fucking time. So I guess, yeah, you could tell this is a rant because this was, I thought, a waste of time. Sasquatch, Legend of Bigfoot from 1977. There's nothing scary about this. There's nothing interesting about this. I say, even though I disliked Legend of Boggy Creek, it still had more to do with Bigfoot in its story. It had, I thought, I wasn't scared, but there's certain moments that were, even the ending, I could say, even though I couldn't tell what was going on, but was a little bit more to it than this one. Considering that was a family with, a kid and, 2 women and like one guy with a gun, and they don't know what's going on. Here is like, you all know what you're going in for. And yeah, most of it's pretty much a fucking nature documentary. It's a nature documentary with the slimmest of, oh yeah, shit, that's right, we gotta mention Bigfoot. Okay, here we go. But yeah, I know a lot of people, maybe it's because, people grew up with it, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. Just, I didn't grow up with it. It just, to me, this was even more boring than Legend of Boggy Creek. Like, if I had to pick, I'd pick Legend of Boggy Creek over this. Because even though, weirdly enough, this is telling us one story with this group of people, but they're not interesting at all. There's nothing to them. They don't really even get much to do, to be honest. Once in a while, they have a little word edgewise. Mostly it's the narration from the guy talking about the land and talking about, the land that they're going and where they're going to, and, this guy narrating it. And once in a while, oh, that journalist guy, he doesn't believe, he, better respect nature. But then he gets attacked by grizzlies, like, oh, see, he respects nature. And I'm like, great, I already know that. You don't need to tell me. I can figure that out. But yeah, it's hard to review because there's really nothing to the movie, in my opinion. There's not much to the flick. So, Sasquatch, Legend of Bigfoot. If you like Legend of Boggy Creek and you want to see these sort of grainy, and when I say grainy, I mean that in a good way. Like, that's what I was talking about when Legend of Boggy Creek. I was talking about the 70s, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's that grainy look. I don't mind the grainy look. It's the only time I mind is if it's so dark at night I can't see what's going on. And this wasn't as bad with that as Legend of Boggy Creek, but again, maybe that's not the movie's fault. It's just the condition it's been kept in throughout the years. But overall, just a very boring nature documentary with teeny things of Bigfoot in it. at least in my opinion. But anyway, that's just my little quick review. Well, not quick, but little review of Sasquatch, the Legend of Bigfoot. Thanks for watching, take care, and stay tuned for another Bigfoot review later.